Y'all know this government shutdown has been planned for some time, right? You know the left has been gradually pushing towards this for a while now, right? What they've wanted to do and what they're successfully doing right now is painting themselves into a corner where the only way the government will reopen is if we are able to extend benefits to. Think about what that means. This means that they are literally willing to use American families as leverage, holding them hostage as these government programs begin to be shut down one by one. And they've literally gone on camera, on record, and said that they are using this whole situation as leverage. That shows how little they care about their own constituents and what they're willing to do, how they're willing to bend over backwards for individuals who should not even be here in the first place. And what they're hoping for is that a lot of individuals will sit there and say, I can't afford to continue to have this go on, so let's just give these benefits, reopen the government, and agree to what the Democrats are demanding. How is that even halfway sustainable? Think about it. Yeah, you want this benefit and that benefit. Well, guess what? Eventually, when those benefits run out, when the system's overwhelmed, then guess what? Then no one will get benefits whatsoever. This is just common sense, and I can't understand why people don't understand that. So the absolute worst thing that individuals could do is sit there and say, okay, cave to the Democrats' demands, give these benefits to illegals, and let's just try to move on with life, when the life that you would have to move on to would not even be worth living in the first place. And that's just the God's honest truth.
All right, latest updates on the shutdown.
Another impact of the shutdown, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP benefits, will run out November 1st if the government doesn't reopen before then. We're talking late next week. A few hours ago, Maryland Governor Wes Moore put out a statement. He says the Trump administration hasn't guaranteed states will be reimbursed for covering federal expenses like food benefits, which has been the case during previous shutdowns. The governor says, quote, we will continue to do everything in our power to ensure the federal government follows the law and provides funding.
There have been 12 votes.
Yes, someone said Democrat weaponized shutdown to push benefit for illegal through loopholes, not direct funding. California state programs for illegal rely on federal grant elsewhere. Money is fungible, so taxpayers still foot the bill. Emergency room mandate under EMTLA force hospitals to prioritize illegals over citizens, draining resources. The One Big Beautiful Bill Act rightly slashed $131 billion from Medicare loopholes that Biden abused to classify powers as lawful president. Schumer shutdown gambit aims to reverse those cuts and pump $1.5 trillion into bloated programs, including state healthcare expansion, SNAPs, shortages, direct result of them holding relief hostage to fund their open borders agenda. This is exactly what is going on. But every single day, you will see Democrats blaming, playing the game. This is already a month. Nothing is moving. And Democrats continue to play the game. I don't know. If you've seen this video, take a look at this.
So there are several things about the shutdown that people like Governor Moore are likely going to be fairly dishonest with you about. And there's actually 3 things that you need to know about the shutdown. Number 1, there have been 12 votes. Count them. 12 votes in order to reopen the government. The Republicans consistently vote yes. There are a few Democrats that have crossed party lines in order to vote yes. But guess what? Governor Wes Moore, he's barking up the wrong tree. He's going after the Trump administration. He needs to go after Senator Chris Van Hollen, Senator Angela Alto Brooks, who all 12 times voted no. I do not want to open the government. That's literally the legislation. So number 1, this is still a Democrat shutdown because the Democrats are voting no to open the government. The Republicans are voting yes to open the government. Here's another thing you probably didn't know. A few days ago, there was actually a vote that was introduced by Republicans in order to pay essential workers. If people are working, there's a lot of people in the federal government that are working that are not getting paid. Republicans introduced legislation to pay those workers. Guess what? The Democrats voted no, and that includes Angela Alto Brooks and Senator Chris Van Hollen, right? This is just common sense stuff. And again, the reason they keep voting no, it's not because they're in some pursuit of some grand thing. It's because it is leverage in order for them to get legislative priorities that they could never pass through law. We've talked about this several times. And by the way, if you want more details on that, go check out my friend Whoopi Morgan. She did a great video outlining and going into specifically the words of this Democrat whip script that was basically saying this is leverage for us. Finally, there is another vote or another piece of legislation introduced by another Republican senator that says, hey, let's feed these people that are on SNAP benefits. Let's at least pass legislation so that people can get at least their food benefits, because this ends on November the 1st, right? So if the government's not open, people are going to start seeing immediate impacts. Again, the Democrats are likely going to vote no. And again, so the governor, again, they see this as leverage, and they've said this is leverage. John Fetterman brought up an interesting thing. He thinks that Republicans should filibuster, because that's what's holding it up, right? If the Republicans had a simple majority, then they could pass this filibuster and basically say Democrats, you no longer matter, simple majority vote. I don't know. That's interesting. I'll keep you updated.
Just to clear some stuff up, what Caroline Levitt said is not true.
Inaccurate.
It's inaccurate.
Yeah.
It's against the law. It's illegal. That's not what's happening. So just know that. No illegal people, whatever you're going to call folks, they're not entitled, but they do have to pay taxes.
They pay a lot in taxes. They pay a lot in benefits for.
Yes, this is a perfect explanation to what is going on. If anybody tell you otherwise, the person is lying. I've seen a lot of these people spewing lies. Republicans are voting yes, why Democrats are saying no, we're shutting down the government. It's very simple. From this, you can conclude without even watching these people. You take a look at these. Whoopi, Sonnet Austin, and Anna do their best to lie about illegal taxes, healthcare, and the Schumer shutdown. Illegals are getting taxpayer healthcare through countless loopholes, and Democrats shut down the government in part to get illegals even more free healthcare. Also, states like California privately provide many billions in free healthcare for illegals, then get government funding for other things. When you take a look at what these people on the View spew every single day, it is like they don't do research. Even if they do, they will always spin it. They will not like to call it the way it is. So when I see them doing this every time, I'm not surprised. I've watched them for a little while. It's crazy. This show should not exist. Now, looking at the government shutdown, there are a lot of things that are at stake. I don't know. MMBC call it out, blame Democrat for what exactly is going on, because they realize majority of the people know that Democrats are responsible for the government shutdown. They were looking at polls like to see if people are in support of them, but from the look of things, it is turning to a level they have not seen in a while.
Yeah, I mean, this is a very dramatic call from that union of federal employees representing hundreds of thousands, with a statement today saying, among other things, that it's time for our leaders to start focusing on how to solve problems for the American people rather than on who is going to get the blame for a shutdown that Americans dislike. Because when the folks who serve this country are standing in line for food banks after missing a second paycheck because of this shutdown, they aren't looking for partisan spin. They're looking for wages that they earned.
Listen, I'm waiting on a reporter, and maybe it'll be you, Caitlin, that finally ask him what is his IQ, because he is constantly talking about, he doesn't even know what a low IQ is. He don't even know which scores are low. And I can guarantee you that whatever score, if he's taken one anytime recently, I'm sure that his qualifies as low. Listen, he's never been known to be an Einstein. This is not a guy who got in on merit.
From this, you can clearly see what exactly is happening. Democrats are panicking because their base are waking up saying, oh, it is high time you stop this. Because they are seeing the effect of the shutdown. Now looking at Jasmine, ghetto Democrat, she blew up on Trump saying Trump doesn't know the meaning of IQ. This was because Trump said her and AIC should go for this test. They are brainless. That's what Trump said. That got her offended to a level not seen in a while. I'm not going to make the video long. I think I'm going to end here. I want to appreciate people supporting me, sharing out the videos. God bless you abundantly. So the short videos, that is for the YT algorithm. You can skip.
Like, I'm just Republicans on the show, but they don't want to come on. They're scared of us.
It's like history.
Wait, when I say I'm not going to be apocalyptic, he even gets an off.
If the Democrats
because how many times do somebody asks
for
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States. If you want to serve in the American
give interviews, I don't do that.
J.D. Vance should be the next president of the United States.
Happening at the moment.
Yeah.
President Obama
is blatant censorship
Because he says he has a team of fact checkers.
The FCC.
I want them to stop fooling around with my right to say what I feel.
Well,
Americans, it's a part of who we are.
Because that is really something that didn't happen before.
Does anybody else watch The View? Because I think there's...
I'm going to say one.
look, there are certain rules of free speech.
a right to have a television show.
All the same people that are in these polite. Dave Chappelle.
Without of interest.
Hey, Crystal, you say stemware. Crystal!
Let me put some information out there for y'all. And I'm not telling you who to vote for.